I'm Amy from Doodle Dog Designs.
I recently got these 4 different wools. I think they're going to be great.
Wools for dyeing and using in rug hooking. I've got this herringbone here. It's a little bit more of a brown, and then this striped. And then I've got this striped, has got more of a cream color to it, but the stripes vary in size. Got wider stripes and then narrower stripes. And then I've got this one that looks almost plaid, but it's just the 2 colors. So I'm going to cut off a yard of each of these, and I'm going to measure it both directions. I'm going to felt them in the washer and dryer, and I will measure them again afterwards just to see how much they shrink when they felt, so that when you are trying to decide how much wool you need to buy for a project, if it's not already felted, you can have an idea of how much shrinkage you might get. Results will vary, but I'm hoping that since I have different textured wools and one solid wool, it will give you an idea of what you can possibly expect when you buy a wool and felt it. When you get a wool like this, a lot of times they will have torn it instead of cutting, and so when it's folded it doesn't look like it matches up, but it's just the way that the grain is on the wool. And if you go ahead and measure from just one side and you tear again, you'll have the right width on both sides. So I'm going to measure from this top side, the shorter side, what looks like the shorter side, and I'm going to come down here to 36. I've got the end, the top part of it at the 0 at the other end, and I'm going to just snip it right here. I'm going to get through that selvage part, and then I'm going to just strip it. And then when you get back to the selvage end on the other side, you do have to cut it. And then you can see what I was talking about here, leaving it folded like it was folded. You can see that this top side is longer. On the other end, the top was shorter. So overall, you have 36 on the bottom, and you have 36 on the top. It just may not lay quite flat as it was folded on the bolt. So it is about 62 inches wide. So I will do that same thing with all of the 4 fabrics in the natural colored one as well. This is also 62 inches wide, and you can really see here where I tore it, how it stayed right on the same thread, and you can see that because you can see the pattern here all the way across. It stays the same where it's cut right there in the middle of that stripe. This stripe is also 62 inches wide. This stripe is also 62 inches wide. I've torn this natural also at a yard, and it is about 58 inches wide. It's a little bit narrower than the other wools.
Then I'm going to calculate the amount of square inches in each of the wools before I'm felt, and that way I'll be able to compare it easily to the size after to see how much shrinkage we got.
I am going to use my front load washer to felt these. I have a video, put a link in the description below, showing exactly what steps to take to use to felt your wool in the front load washer.
As I put the wool in the washing machine, I want to make sure that each piece is completely unfolded. I have some tennis balls that I keep in the laundry room and I use just for felting wool, and I will throw each of the tennis balls into the washing machine with the wool. I added soap, and I'm going to run it on the normal casual cycle, and I will use hot water.
The washer is finished. I'm going to now take out the wool, and I'm going to put the wool in the dryer, but not the tennis balls.
I do have some wool dryer balls that I keep in the dryer at all times.
The wools have been washed and dried now, so they have been felted. You can see they're no longer ravelly at the edges like they were. So now I will measure them.
Checked wool now measures about 31 inches by 57 inches. So again, I will calculate the number of square inches in the piece of wool after it's felted. Then I can take the square inches before and subtract the square inches after to figure out the square inches that were lost. And then from there, I can figure the percentage of loss of wool. This one shrunk a little bit more. It measures 31 by 55 inches, which is about a 24% loss in the wool. This stripe also measures 31 by 55 inches. This one measures 31 by 54, which is about a 25% loss in square inches. And the natural colored wool measures 30 by 53, which is a 24% loss in square inches of fabric. Based on this experiment, you can see that you can expect to lose 20 to 25% of your square inches of fabric, so you need to account for that when you're deciding how much wool to purchase for a project. But I will tell you that I have felted some before that I didn't measure, but that I think shrunk much more than this 25%. I hope this gives you an idea of how much wool you should potentially plan on if you are going to felt some wool.
Be sure to click the like button and subscribe below. I'll see you next time. Bye.